The Hawks and the Bulls from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's look at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Chicago Bulls, winners of 40 games last year, trying to strengthen the cast of characters. One way they've added Artis Gilmore, a former Bull, of course, came from the ABA and was with San Antonio. The Bulls traded a second-round choice for him. Michael Jordan, Jon Paxson in the backcourt. Oakley and Sellers are the forwards. The Bulls are coached by Doug Collins, now the second youngest coach in the NBA since Rick Pitino joined the New York Knicks. John Bach on his left is his assistant coach. For the Atlanta Hawks, they'll be starting with one change in the lineup tonight. Look down, player number 4, John Battle, will start at the point guard in place of Doc Rivers, who has a sore ankle and, more importantly and more sore, a sore mouth and gums. He had his teeth and gums bashed in the first 2 games. Wittman, the shooting guard, Rollins at center. He has not scored in 30 minutes in 2 games. And Mike Fratello, who said winning 57 games and losing close to Detroit wasn't enough. They're going for an NBA championship in 1987 and 1988. The officials, Ed Rush and Dan Crawford, and we're about set to get underway from the Omni.
And Bob, the key to this game as far as Chicago is concerned is how well they're able to contain the Hawk fast break. They have got to do a good job of getting back. In fact, you'll probably see Brad Sellers and Jon Paxson be the 2 players responsible for maintaining good defensive balance for this Chicago Bull team. And for the Hawks, they put in some good, interesting plays to try and cause some problems for Michael Jordan. It'll be interesting to see how the Bulls react to that. We've got a stolen tip on the jump, hitting the outside shot, and he tends to be too unselfish at times. Nice to see him start off that way.
Whitman came off a couple of screens, but the Bulls defensive guard when you have their 12th man, John Battle, instead of Doc Rivers. Dominique on the turnaround over Sellers. It's tied.
Defensive strategy of the Bulls.
Gilmore has the shot rejected.
He would fire up a mortar shot, but
throw up a brick. John Battle on the drive, and he'll go to the free throw line. Now, let me talk about Doc Rivers once again. Doc Rivers had his mouth worked on in the summertime. He had been hit in the mouth a couple of years ago, and the upper level teeth, the gum above his front teeth, and then he was hit again on Friday night, then again on Saturday night. He spent 10 hours in dental surgery yesterday, and I talked to Doc just before the game, and he said, I don't think I can play tonight unless they get all the way down to player number 12. Doc Rivers with the towel right in the center of your screen, and John Battle starting at the point guard.
If indeed he does play, I think he is expected to play.
It's tied at 4. Michael Jordan, guarded by Wittman, gets the pick. Jordan feeds Gilmore, gets Willis in the air, and it's 6-4 Bulls.
Well, they jumped out and doubled on Michael, and that left Artis open on the
rest of the Hawks. His vision, his distribution, something that's suspect. He was a 2-guard coming out of college. Willis on the turnaround jump hook, misses. Gilmore rebound. Tipped out by Dominique Wilkins, and give him a 7 on the vault. He has a new hairdo. Speaking of Dominique Wilkins this year, new look. Several players came in with a new look hairdo. Larry Bird's trimmed back. Jordan. Rebound Willis. 6-4 Bulls. Battle. Rejected by Michael Jordan. Oh,
well, it's a wonderful block.
The Hawks are 2-0. Jordan into the paint. About 7 moves. Misses the shot. No whistle. Gilmore has it rejected by Rollins.
John changed that last shot.
Nice play by Wilkins. Something that Doug Collins wants to try to stop is the Hawk jamming, because it brings this crowd into the game.
He has the potential to be a great player in this league. As Wilkins draws the foul, the basket would have counted. It's going to be against Sellers. But let's watch the play by Jordan that we talked about that went out of bounds. As Battle does a great job to get Paxson out of position, crossover dribble, drives right by Oakley, but Michael times it beautifully. Now, he had enough of it.
In the matchups between Wilkins and Jordan here at the Omni and in Chicago in 6 games last year, Jordan won the scoring battle 5 out of 6 times, but the Hawks won 4 out of the 6 games. Here's the isolation play for Dominique Wilkins. He stops and fires from 15. Dominique.
Tough assignment for Sellers.
And once again, Battle having real distribution problems. The Hawks hurting at point guard because of the absence of Doc Rivers. Gilmore from Jordan. Bulls 12-11. 7:08 to go, quarter number 1.
He has a tendency to want to penetrate every time.
They've isolated Dominique Wilkins again. He beats Sellers again, as though Sellers' feet were nailed to the floor. Scottie Pippen, the rookie #1 draft choice, may come in and play Dominique Wilkins a little bit later in this ball game. We also will probably see a change at point for the Hawks pretty quickly here if they can get Spud Webb into the game. in my opinion. Ball belongs to the Hawks.
Here comes Spud now.
6:37 to go in the first quarter. Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins with 9. Jordan has yet to score in the ball game.
Well, I'm telling you what, Michael will be probably happy to have the reverse happen of what happened last year. Let Dominique win the scoring battle and let the Bulls win the ball game. That time Paxson came out to help and it worked well.
Jordan still empty-handed from the floor, but he'll go to the free throw line. Michael Jordan.
Number 30, Tree Rollins is first. The second team foul.
Tree Rollins, the defensive starting center for the Hawks. Jon Koncak will come in to play and will provide more offense from the center position for the Atlanta Hawks a little bit later. Jon Koncak with a rebuilt jaw, more confidence in his game, and they're looking for more scoring from Jon Koncak from the perimeter this year.
Well, in his 2 games off the bench, he's averaging double figures points and rebounds.
So we'll see Jon Koncak. He's played twice as many minutes in the first 2 games as has Tree Rollins, despite the fact his 6-point early in the ball game.
Well, that was funny because
Doug be playing full court. Chicago likes to see him in this situation. Spud Webb over Sedale 3.
Points. 6 of those have come from the outside.
Spud Webb misses on the reverse. Oakley doing
Right hand had to put reverse spin on it, and that's a much more difficult shot.
Into Gilmore. Nice speed from Michael Jordan. Jordan can kill you about 11 ways. Steals, block shots, assists, scoring, you name it. 22nd timeout for the Atlanta Hawks, owners of a 6-game Omni win streak against the Chicago Bulls. I think the Hawks match up well against the Bulls. None of the matchups quite are the classic matchups. For instance, you don't really see Dominique and Jordan matched up one-on-one very much, etc.
They may happen in some switch situations, or it's allowed Artis Gilmore to stay in the ball game and play. But you get in a fast-paced ball game, the game gets away from Artis, and then Doug has to make a substitution, and that could work in favor of the Atlanta Hawks by having the quicker big men in the game.
Dave Corzine would come in for Gilmore, and Granville Waiters has been added to the Bulls roster. Violation, kicking the ball. It'll belong to the Hawks on the far sideline. Ricky Winslow, the Hawks draft choice out of Houston, was cut, and they added Granville Waiters from Ohio State because Doug Collins says he just likes to have the big body available.
He just couldn't see himself with 4 rookies, although they liked Winslow.
Dominique doubled on the baseline. Webb into the paint, stripped away nicely by 3, controlled by Sellers. Jordan gets his first basket of the night. Nice feed from 3.
Well, let's see Michael come down on the break situation. Sedale 3 gets it to him. He just used that great athletic ability, tremendous height, was able to double clutch it and lay it in easily. I know he would like to have dunked it, but the defensive man was in the way. And again, see, the Hawks had another opportunity coming down, but the Bulls have done a good job getting back and clogging things up. They kicked the ball away, missed the shots. They really haven't gotten anything coming down where they got a wide open cram by Willis or by Dominique. And they've done a good job of containing that Atlanta fast break.
Now 2 changes for the Bulls. Corzine into the game along with the #1 draft choice, the man we talked about at the opening of the program, Scottie Pippen, number 33. There's Livingston into the ball game for Atlanta. He scores as he drives. The Bulls now have Corzine, Oakley, and Pippen at the forwards, and Jordan and 3 at the guards. Pippen will be played by Dominique Wilkins. He gets his baptism against one of the great players in the NBA. Jordan with a 2-hand jam. Corzine, thinner, shaved off his beard. He doesn't mind the backup role. He's a good team player, and he can score also. On the spin move, traveling Wilkins. We have 2 minutes, 46 seconds to go, quarter #1. Scottie Pippen, the #1 draft choice of the Bulls from Central Arkansas. When he was a freshman at Central Arkansas in Hamburg, Arkansas, he was only 6'1" and was the student manager. Horace Grant, the 2nd first-round pick, and Tony White, 3 rookies for the Bulls. And Grant's in the game now.
Mike Fratello going to a little trapping, a little pressure, try and change this game into a faster tempo. And you can see Horace Grant, the rookie, with a good touch from the outside. Break it all.
Hawks having problem with a half-court game, too. Pippen with the lay-in. Scottie Pippen enters the scoring column.
People who are scouting this game around the NBA, and many of them are, that they know that they have to be prepared for the Bulls from now on.
Off the glass, it's Michael Jordan, who now has #1. Spud Webb missing. No offensive rebounding for Atlanta early in this ball game.
Well, again, the Bulls are just dropping back inside. They're taking the inside game away right now, and the Hawks, notoriously, not a real good outside shooting club.
This is not a good lineup for the Atlanta Hawks in here right now. Just not working very well. Atlanta foul, and they're making changes.
That's why 3 new players are coming in, because Mike Fratello is trying to search for the answer. Battle back in. We got Antoine Carr coming in. Finally, our first look at Jon Koncak. And the Hawks, when Dominique and Michael had some big scoring games last year, the Hawks were down by about 20 and came back and won the ball game, so this game's far from over.
Good defensive play immediately by Koncak. 32-17 Chicago. Under a minute to go, quarter number 1. Crowd getting into the game. Battle back at the point. Here's Koncak. He can score from the paint. Misses badly. Goes to Brad Sellers back into the ball game. And Jordan will rest for the rest of this quarter. Only 37 seconds left with 8 points and 3 assists already. Antoine Carr showing you what the power forward position's all about as he powers it home. Carr is 21 days behind a lot of the other players because of his holdout.
Now you see him make the good move. He gave the ball fake to the rookie Grant. He went for the ball fake and just went the other way and laid it in. Can't join that paratrooper club in the NBA, otherwise you certainly pay the price. And of course, Antoine coming back after having signed the offer sheet with the Boston Celtics that was matched by the Hawks.
26 seconds to go. Bulls will have to shoot it with 2 seconds left. They didn't get it off. 24-second violation. Good Atlanta defense. 4 seconds in the quarter. Hawks have a fight
along with some good defense by Chicago. A bad pass coming in from Spud Webb, knocked away by Corzine. There's Sedale, 3, gets it out to Scottie Pippen, who finishes it off. Chicago with 8 fast break points and the Hawks with none. That has definitely been the difference so far in this ball.
Dominique Wilkins has 9 Atlanta points. Nobody else with more than 3. Now Carr has more. He has 5.
And again, Carr got Grant to go for that ball fake, and Horace has got to stay down and make the man commit himself first. He's lucky he didn't get the foul also. In fact, Antoine should have jumped into him a little bit to draw at that time.
Bulls by 10. Offensive foul. That's away from the ball.
Horace Grant setting the screen.
So the Hawks can pull to within 8. They trailed by 15.
No problems. See, the one thing about Dominique is as outstanding and as exciting a ball player he is, he really is not the type of player that makes the players on the floor with him better. And that's where I think Michael Jordan has the ability to be able to do that now that he has some people to play with.
A surgeon's chair yesterday.
Plus a sore ankle.
And a big collision underneath the hoop. Who is that that's still down? Is that Carr? Antoine Carr and Charles Oakley ran into each other like 2 Mack trucks.
That's about it, too. I mean, now watch him. He's going to wind up pulling them down as they get into a position. They go and look and wrap the left arm right around Oakley and pull him down as they hit the deck. And Ed Rush, the outside official, right on top of the play, and spotted the infraction.
Now Spud Webb has re-entered the game for Atlanta in place of John Battle.
Well, he's played all 3 of them that we talked about.
Nice feed to Pippen. He'll go to the line.
Now you see how smart it was for. Now here's a young player. They cut to the basket. The good pass when they go and they triple team. Goes up, makes the fake. Gets the man in the air, jumps into him with the body, pulls the ball out. Now you just don't see rookies doing that very often, Bob.
I'll tell you something, however, on the negative side, as Carr has 3 fouls already. Pippen only about a 50% free throw shooter.
They'll have to switch into the underhand method this offseason.
You could work with him. There's his Central Arkansas stats. You see the free throw is a problem. He hits 50% here at the conclusion of the
I'll tell you what, if I was a coach, I'll take all my players with only that problem.
That's something they can learn, correct? 39-22, Chicago in control of this ball game at the Omni. 7:59 to go, second quarter. Jordan finds the open man. Shot clock down to 10. Corzine against Spud Webb.
Well, I think he thought twice. He thought Spud was going to block that first jumper.
How much trouble Bogues caused in the World Games a couple of summers ago if you broadcast all the problems Bogues caused for the European big guards. Webb over everybody. Spud Webb. 41-24 Chicago. Atlanta ball. Isolated against Celtics. Finger roll, and Dominique, he should have taken that one. He can score from the perimeter. Feed from Jordan. It's easier to score from there.
Well, when you're so worried about a player like Michael Jordan, you have the defensive players concentrating on him. And that's why I say Michael Jordan, now that he has people to work with. Of course, he had Corzine last year, but not in the shape that Corzine's in this year. But that's what you do. You roll to the basket. Somebody leaves you in doubles, go to the basket. Good players will get you the ball.
The rebound, then lets it loose to Jordan. Nice feed to Sellers. Controls himself and lays it in. Poised play by Brad Sellers.
This is about as bad as I've ever seen the Hawks play, Bob. They're really having their difficulties. Mike Fratello calling a timeout, and the fans not liking it either.
Chicago by 19, 6 minutes to go. And
a total breakdown on the part of the Hawks.
And the Hawks guards can't score. Only 2 for 15 tonight. McGee makes it all year. Kept alive nicely by Willis, who gets the ball back for his good efforts. McGee on the drive with a left hand. Tip won't go. Lead for Chicago with 5:11 to go, second quarter. Oakley looked up to try to make a pass before he got the ball. Wittman off the screen, back to McGee, who's now trying to play the point for Atlanta. Shot clock at 10. Willis over Oakley. Kevin Willis. Now they were down by 18. Jordan. Nice feed to Oakley.
As I said, Michael Jordan, the type of player who will make his teammates better. He can do things like that. Mike Fratello very upset. We got a technical foul going to be called against Tree Rollins, but Mike was really upset because after the basket, he wanted them in a certain pressing defense. They didn't get into it. He was stomping his feet on the sideline. So obviously, communication between player and coach right now not working the way Mike would like. Michael Jordan knows he's capable of doing great things, but he wants to win basketball games, and he'll do whatever it takes. Great a shooter, but it's just that his leadership is missing.
Wilkins from above the hoop.
Well, he had to get it up high because Michael jumped up at him. So when Michael jumps at you, better get a lot of arch on the ball.
Jordan doubled him up. Wilkins against Sellers. What a move! Dominique Wilkins. Now Jordan.
Doing just like the Lakers. Of course, you score a basket, you make a great play by Wilkins, but they're admiring the play, and they forgot to get back on defense, and the Bulls come back with a Michael Jordan special.
Well, the Hawks KO the Bulls with Dominique, and then they get a roundhouse left hook, double pump from Jordan. That's what they bought the tickets to see. McGee in the paint. Finesse shot won't go. Foul against Atlanta. Here it is, back-to-back, bookends.
Now he'll go to his right. Now watch the left side now. Artis Gilmore just couldn't get there in time because it was such a quick spin move. Excellent play on the part of Wilkins, and defense couldn't do much about it. But again, Michael Jordan took off down the court when he saw the play, and here's Michael doing what he can do like no one else.
Now Paxson and Jordan at the guards. Oakley and Sellers at the forwards, and Artis Gilmore at center. Jordan stops, misses, rebound Willis.
And Willis pushed off to get the rebound, had a hand in the back.
Loose
Charles Oakley.
That's 2 on Kevin Willis.
I'll tell you, you don't want him messing around with you and pushing you too hard. He bench presses 365 pounds. Just look at the muscles that he has. His upper body strength's incredible.
Chicago Bulls have a timeout. We have 2:57 remaining in the first half of this ball game. It has been all Chicago.
Let's watch some of the problems, Bob, that the Hawks are having defensively. Wittman on Michael Jordan. Now you're going to see Tree Rollins come out, but he doesn't get out far enough, and he allows Michael to get around him, and then Kevin Willis is late getting over and still gives the baseline to Michael Jordan. You do that to him, and you're in big trouble all night long. So, but that's a smart thing to do, Bob. When you're shooting quarter from the outside, get yourself an easy hoop.
Oakley gets it rejected by nice feed from Spud to McGee. Bulls lead. 2:04 to go, first half. Jordan from 20 feet. Michael Jordan. Carr over Oakley.
But you notice Oakley didn't go for the fake that Carr was able to give to Grant, who went 2 times for it.
One Bulls by 19. Dominique Wilkins off the glass. He has 17.
An impressive job by the Bulls in being able to take the Hawks out of their running game. The Hawks' running game has always been non-existent here this evening.
Pippen. Good control. Scottie Pippen scored.
Offensive interference, basket interference that time. They thought the ball was still on the cylinder on the tip-in.
It was close. Webb from 16. Rebound Sellers. At the end of the half, Chicago, Brad Sellers, by the way, has 7 rebounds now to go with his 11 points. And it has been all Chicago, 64-45, Bulls by 19 points. Stay tuned for Craig Sager. We'll be going back to the studios in Atlanta for the complete NBA halftime prudential.
Now, Michael
update.
Jordan gets the rebound, and yet the Hawks didn't go in. They didn't get back on defense, and they get burned as Brad Sellers gets an easy basket down the other end. And it really has been that type of an evening all night long.
Carr got his 7 off the bench. 64-45 to open this half. And Willis takes it inside, and the foul is called on Michael Jordan.
I think also that Mike Fratello is probably going to want to see his team execute better offense for Wittman to come off the double screen. He came off the screen, and Willis stepped right inside, and Dominique made the good pass into Willis.
Kevin Willis, of course, out of Michigan State University.
Worked real hard on his game in the offseason, played in the LA Pro League, and he did a lot of moves working on learning to go to his left a little bit more, handling the basketball. Very dedicated young man for a 7-footer.
Willis with only 5 in the first half. Jordan sees the open man. It's Oakley. Misses from the boot. Spud Webb all the way. Misses the left-handed layup, and now Chicago runs. Nice feed to Sellers.
Again, transition hurting them, and Michael Jordan made that play. He made Spud change his shot, but winds up getting a dunk shot.
And now Atlanta in the half-court game, something Chicago wants them to have to be in. 8 seconds on the shot clock. And now they've got Wilkins in three-point territory with 3 seconds.
Back down into double team on Michael Jordan. He left Paxson wide open.
Whitman off the screen.
Boy, do they need that.
Wittman can, as so many NBA fans have seen, can light it up over a streak. He can really get going if he can get off of the screens, and that's his first basket. Good defense back from SMU, Jon Koncak. You see, if you're a regular viewer of the NBA, an entirely different jaw for Jon Koncak. He went extensive jaw surgery this year. That jaw caused nerve problems, chewing problems, etc. And it has restructured his face. And he said he likes his look better today.
Well, I'll tell you, it's important to like yourself to be successful in anything you do in life, Bob.
Wilkins. Great moves. And got the response for the jam. 19 for Dominique Wilkins.
Well, that starts to bring the crowd back to life a little bit. Still a long way to go for them.
Shot clock to 7. Now it's all Jordan. 4, 3. For 3, Michael Jordan. Nothing needs to be said about that except Michael Jordan. Wilkins isolated now from 18.
He hit that shot and he should have never got it off. He dropped his foot back, and the defensive man should have bellied right up to him and made him turn his back, and there's no way he could have shot the ball. It's amazing how many players in this league do that and get away with it offensively. Now, Bob, I want to show you what I talked about the defense. Now, Spud's going to hit Dominique. Now, watch when he catches the ball, how he drops the right foot back. He's got a pivot foot to the left. Now, if we stop it right there, if Brad Sellers right now moved right up on Dominique and bellied up to him, Dominique has got to turn his back. He doesn't do it. Now, watch what happens. He stays there. Dominique plays games, brings it up, takes a jump shot. That's just not good defense.
Brad
Sellers, he's so quick, but when he's got his foot back there, all you do is attack him on the right side. He has nowhere to go because he's already established a pivot foot. He's really hurt his own game.
Controlled by Willis. Ken Oakley, it's lost out of bounds. It belongs to
They need
Atlanta.
Battle to play well right now.
Kevin Willis from the perimeter. He scores. Kevin now with 9 points. A lot of assists. Has played some great defense. Jordan has had himself a fine, balanced game tonight.
And the Hawks need a good defensive effort the next few times down the court.
Sellers missing from the perimeter. Now battle running. Livingston. He's fouls and run it.
Well, here we see the end of the play as Battle comes in. Really had a difficult shot. Almost tipped in by Livingston. He gets it back, gets it knocked away, and as he goes back up, he had nowhere to go, but he made a smart move by double clutching, drew some body, and was able to get to the free throw line because he had nowhere to shoot that ball. Even on that one, they had to take a very difficult shot, and were fortunate to come away with 2 free throws.
On the Hawks.
And now Boss Mike Rapella wanted them to be pushing Sedale to the right side. He should have been overplaying his right side and forced Sedale to come back to his left as Scottie Pippen re-enters for Chicago.
Pippen played 12 minutes in the first half. Doug Collins said he wanted about 20-24 minutes from Pippen. Jordan, long range, has 19 now.
Jordan get wide open from 17 feet.
Battle, spin move in the paint. He can score. Nice move on the penetration by the Hawks' John Battle.
Which is necessary to watch Michael Jordan.
Hawks are playing much better half-court defense in this half. Shot clock to 10. McGee on Jordan. Spinning, banking, scoring.
Now you can't do anything about that. That's excellent defense. That's just a great play on the part of Michael.
The Atlanta centers have scored only 2 points in this game, and those 2 have been from the free throw line. Three Rollins have none, and Koncak has the free throws. Shot clock to 4 for Zine.
See, that's why he's so dangerous, because he will help his teammates. Another assist from Michael Jordan. Dominique Wilkins, even though he's got up around 20 points, does not have an assist in the game. Brad Sellers was hit in the stomach. He's bending over. He's hurt.
Getting pushed around out now. Koncak with 8 on the shot clock. Around Corzine. We'll keep our eye on Sellers. He can't run down the court right now.
20
Collins
seconds.
trying to get a 20-second timeout. Jordan calls it. It's 20 seconds for Chicago with 19 on their shot clock. And you were right. Sellers took an elbow or some portion of somebody's anatomy to his solar plexus.
Well, it's a really uncomfortable feeling having had it happen to me, and you just can't grab your breath, and it becomes a kind of a scary thing. You get hit so hard there, and that's what he's attempting to do. And what he's doing is looking down at the fellow who hit him, trying to give him the eye. But let's take a look in the upper left corner of the screen. We'll keep an eye on Sellers as he moves across the lane, sets the screen, and there is the hit with the elbow. Looks like Anton Carr, or is it Livingston? It was Carr who kind of caught him with the elbow right in the solar plexus as he was trying to fight through that screen.
So Horace Grant comes into the ball game, and Sellers obviously is okay.
Well, you see, you don't want to make it look so bad. You try and regain your composure, especially if you play like Sellers, because you don't want to come out of the game.
Bulls back to a 17-point lead. Pippen in the paint. Banks it home. Scottie Pippen, the 6'7" leaper from Central Arkansas.
Back to win this ball game. It had to take a complete break.
Playing better, and the Hawks in this third quarter have played better, particularly in the half-court defense, as you're going to get to see an example of it here. Pippen to Jordan. Pulls up, scores, and he'll get the three-point opportunity.
See, Chicago is showing me so much in this game, Bob, by their ability to react to what the Hawks are throwing at them. They're playing with such great poise, great confidence. They're not being rattled by any of the traps, any of the presses.
Battle. Lead to Livingston.
That should have been a charge.
Excuse me, check that. It was Scott Pippen, right? And there's looks like Livingston is shaken up, as is Battle. They hit the floor really hard. Battle seems to be okay.
And Livingston hit right on the back, small of the back, on one of those bones that sit down there, and pokes right into him. No foul call, and then he crashes back inside and knocks Cliff down, and Cliff hits the deck hard right on his back, as you can see him coming up with some pain. Let's take a look at another angle. Now watch 53 as he goes up for the shot. He gets hit by Pippen, an inadvertent hit right down on the back. Very painful. You can see him come up in pain.
Also in, another rookie for Atlanta, for Chicago, Tony White, the second-round draft choice from the University of Tennessee, two-time SEC scoring champion. 88-69.
The substitutions are coming in with 3 seconds left, Bob, but I really don't have any idea.
Livingston gets them both. 2-1. Pippen from a long way, from too far, and that's the end of the third quarter. 10 on the shot clock. Von Carr. Long range, and all of a sudden now the perimeter game of Chicago has gone cold.
Well, if you get the offensive rebounds, it doesn't make too much difference, though. Use up a lot of time. That's their ally right now.
Which is what they want to do with Jordan on the bench.
Of course, Dominique's on the bench as well. He's getting ready to come back in, so the air show is a temporary intermission.
Shot clock to 6. Paxson tripped by Koncak. And that had to hurt. Got him right in the shin.
I think he got him I think he got him up near the knee. And if you have knees banged, you can really be very painful. You get a bruise. And now the two stars back into the ball game.
Dominique and Michael, that's his fourth. sweat all over that shirt. That was a very expensive, high-fashion shirt.
His wife would be upset with him.
Here's Jordan after the fake. The left hand doesn't go to center now. Against Corzine. Spins inside. Corzine with the block. Pippen. What body control.
Now here's one of the reasons why Chicago's up by 19. Look at this great defensive position on the Bulls. Corzine on Willis, perfect position. Michael's trying to help in from the right side. Look at Oakley in the middle in good position on the weak side. 3. Pippen comes in to help, then goes back out. Michael comes to help, and there's the block. It's knocked away, and look at the great athletic play by Scottie Pippen. Knocks it away from McGee, takes off down the sideline. Now watch this great athletic play. Takes the step, lets the man go by. Great body control, throws it up very softly. Outstanding play on the part of the Bulls.
Accolade to referee Dan Crawford. Also great position to see whether Pippen went out of bounds or not. Sometimes we forget the good hustle of the officials. Wilkins scoring to all Chicago. Otherwise stolen by Dominique. This will be good.
That's not a good play by the part of Sedale Threed. If he's going to take that foul, he needed to grab Dominique and make sure that he would not get hurt. Now there we see good play by Dominique, being able to come away with the steal that time as he anticipated quite well. Now Harry goes in, he's going to get ready to go for the dunk, and he gives him a push instead of holding him. Now you don't push a player at any time, especially when he's getting ready to go in for the dunk, and that's why they called the 2-shot out of bounds play, because he really didn't make a play on the ball, on the breakaway foul.
On the breakaway, if you
trips down the court, keep an eye on that one.
Spud Webb, 17. Pippen has a 3-on-2 opportunity all the way. Scottie Pippen, this one.
Bulls lead is at 16.
94-78. Clock to 7:27 in the game. Doubling Jordan, hits Pippen. Nice feed from Pippen, but we've got to travel on Oakley. Shot clock was down to 4 seconds.
But again, you saw the versatility.
Doubling Jordan is what every team does, tripling him sometimes, and the Bulls showing you that possibly you're going to have to really pay for doubling Jordan this year.
Well, they should have paid that time. Oakley, of course, making the mistake on the travel.
3-point opportunity for Dominique Wilkins, who has 26 in the game now. Can pull the Hawks to within 13.
And the Bulls have to be careful because there's still plenty of time left, although the Bulls still need a total breakdown. And again, a play like Oakley on the last time down the court, as you see Dominique on this last one, just make a good spin move, and where the foul came is that Pippen turned into him and laid his body on him to screen him off the boards, and that's where the foul was not on the actual shot itself. It was after the shot. But again, if Oakley makes that layup, it still would be a 15-point lead as opposed to 13.
Atlanta making a run. They trail by 19 at the half, 17 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And now Sellers is in for Oakley. Pippen keeps it alive. Jordan, he's fouled by Koncak.
Smart play by Pippen. Couldn't grab the ball. Tips it to his own man.
And here's the versatility of the Bulls this year. Now they've got Sellers playing power forward and Pippen playing the quick forward. Jordan and Paxson in the backcourt and Corzine at center.
Very mobile team out there. Now, of course, Paxson not the quickest guy in the world.
49 remaining in the ball game. 95-81 Bulls.
Excuse me, Bob. He's got the longest shorts in the world, I think. If you measured those shorts from the top down to the bottom, they look like those, what do you call those?
Wilkins rebounding. New shot clock. Wilkins driving, finger roll.
Well, Dominique's trying to do all he can to get him back in the game, but of course he's trying to do it all by himself. He's not really creating things for the other people, and sometimes that's not quite enough.
Official score says Dominique tipped that one in. 5:58 to go in the game. Wilkins off 2 screens over Pippen. Good. Dominique Wilkins. Livingston, check it. Livingston with the hoop. Timeout, Chicago. It's a Bulls 11-point lead. Tonight's Polaroid Picture Perfect play is brought to you by Polaroid Spectra System. Hold the picture in your hand while the feeling is still in your heart.
And what better picture than Michael Jordan doing what he does best. Air Jordan in action as he cuts to the baseline on the fine pass from Corzine. And Michael takes it home and snapped that picture.
Jordan off 2 screens. Nice feed to Oakley. He's fouled by Koncak.
Again, Michael Jordan is the type of player who's going to help make his teammates better. Now, he had that ability to go up for the jump shot. He could have taken it, but he had enough presence of mind to spot it. Look at the great spin move. He's up. He could shoot it, but he sees the man in a better position. The cardinal rule of basketball is Oakley draws the foul against contact. If you have a good shot, take it, provided one thing, that a teammate is not in a better position, and very few players who go up to shoot jump shots are able to still survey the floor and make a pass like that.
Chicago free throw shootings hurt him in this ball game, and Oakley has not scored in this half, even though he has 14. Jordan has 8 assists in the game. He missed them both. Atlanta can pull to within 9 with 5:10 to go in the game. Good pass from Webb to Wittman. It's a 9-point Chicago lead. Showing the poise of a team that won 57 last year. They isolate Dominique. And he answers with his 33rd point of the game. Wittman's all over Jordan. They're trying to free him up and do now. Offensive foul, Chicago.
Calling it on Corazine, setting the screen for Michael Jordan. So the Bulls starting to a couple of missed free throws by Oakley. Oakley traveled when he had a layup. You can't make mistakes like that against good teams.
Now the isolation again. Webb wants to get the two-man game going with Wilkins, who's red hot. Misses that one. Jordan
Bad
the rebound.
Shot, Bob. That's just a bad shot again, one-on-one. Dominique was making a few. He felt the hot hand, but he got carried away with it.
It's taken away.
Well, they had disappeared most of the night. Isn't it amazing when you need them the most when you're behind, they disappear on you?
Corazine almost got the rebound on the Oakley miss, but almost didn't count. It belongs to Atlanta, trailing by 8.
And 5 points that Oakley could have had. He walked on a layup that he had. He's missed 3 free throws.
Wittman from the perimeter. It's exactly what Atlanta wanted. Wittman couldn't answer.
That time they worked the ball very nicely, got the shot that they would like to have, and unfortunately their best outside shooter for the backcourt was unable to knock it in.
2:45 remaining in this ball game. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Corazine looking for Jordan, couldn't find him, had to put it up himself. Dominique the rebound. Hawks run. Webb. Chicago back.
Well, they've been back all night.
Dominique Wilkins. Wittman gets the long rebound. New shot clock for Atlanta. 2:23 to go in the game.
Again, Bob, that's not a good shot.
Bulls by 8. Off the screen, Wittman. Switches to Webb from 19. Spud Webb. 6-point Bulls lead.
That's the kind of plays you'd like to see. Move it around, get a good open 18-foot shot. Nice shot by Spud.
Bulls shooting less than 39% in the second half. It is a 6-point Bulls lead. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They've isolated Paxson over the shorter Spud Webb. He misses. Sellers can't get the rebound. Hawks run. Can pull to within 4. Rebound Jordan. Hold it. Yes, he maintained control even though he battled it away from Livingston. The fans wanted a jump ball call, and Jordan has 8 assists, 7 rebounds to go with his 20.
They've been able to just eat up most of the clock, and they've got this game under control right now, although it was questionable for a while as they had some breakdowns.
Bulls' perimeter game went quiet, but their offensive rebounding did not. Jordan is fouled by Koncak with 35 seconds to go in the game, and the Bulls up by 6.
But again, Michael being smart, going to the basket. He did it before, didn't get the call. This time he did. And that's the experience of a great player.
The Hawks have won the last 6 times Chicago and Atlanta have met in this building, the Omni. But barring a miracle, they're about to lose here with only 35 seconds remaining in this ball game. You may remember last year the Wilkins-Jordan duel was something that everybody bought tickets for and dialed into television. And as you take a look at that, you see that Jordan won 5 of the 6 matchups with Wilkins, but the Hawks won 4 of the 6 games.
Right, and this time we're going to have a situation where Dominique is going to win as far as the scoring battle goes. But Michael's going to come away with the victory, and that's what these players, really strive for. And here they are tonight. Look at the performance. 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 25 points. Now, 5 rebounds only from Dominique, 35 points. He does not have an assist in this basketball game, and that's what I'm talking about as far as players who are great talent, but don't necessarily make their teammates better and help the team. Really got the Hawks off to a bad start. Their fast break never did materialize, and credit the Bulls also with doing a great job getting back defensively and shutting it down.
People talk about the center position being so important. Here are 2 teams, both of whom really don't have the answer at center. Chicago with the aging Gilmore, followed by Corzine and then Granville Waiters.
With the short haircut, had just one of his incredible performances against Washington in that double overtime. And some people were starting to write the Boston Celtics off. I don't think so. And, of course, Kevin McHale, when he comes back, is just going to add to that firepower.
That'll be a good night for Atlanta. Time down, you see in the bottom right, to 15 seconds. Jordan from 18 buries it. And Michael Jordan now with 29 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. And it's been a Michael Jordan kind of night circa 1987-88. This is the kind of performance from Jordan you can get used to seeing this year. And that means that he'll get his 25 to 30 points, but you're also going to see him dishing off those assists and get a lot of balance from about 8 Chicago Bulls. And they have young players. Don't forget that Pippen and Horace Grant are going to stink up the building some nights because they're young, but there are going to be nights too that the Bulls can be awesome. And it's garbage time now. That will not count. It was waved off by referee Dan Crawford. And the final score from the Omni in Atlanta: Chicago Bulls 105, the Hawks 95. The Bulls are 2-0. The Hawks go to 2-1 in the young 1987-88 NBA season.